There was a model from Bailey and Hamilton that talked about, let's look at all the different stages that young people have to go through. At a young age, we want them to enjoy and just love sport, because that'll be the love of rugby league, the love of the game. Fundamental movement skills, moving in different directions, hopping, jumping, catching, throwing, etc. Playing as many different sports, as many different activities as possible. As they get older, you may not see quite as clearly on the screen, but learning to train, learning to compete, learning to win. But there's different stages when we need to try and get this across to the youngsters. If it's a 6-year-old learning to win at all costs, that mentality, being devastated if they don't win, feeling bad about themselves if they don't win, that doesn't fit into this long-term model. Because yeah, you want your children to be successful now, but I'm sure you'd rather them to be successful at 18, 19, 20 and be exactly where they want to be. So this is one model that's been adopted by lots of sports. It's also based on the other concept that we can't just think physically as they develop and as they train, but there's actually 3 worlds that are going on in the young person's life. They're growing, as we can see, the biological, the physical health or the injured, etc. There's the psychological side of things, the self-esteem, the self-confidence, their intelligence. But look at the important bit where you are. You know, family, school, peers, friends, how that all interacts with you. And it comes together to develop the mental health and some of the difficulties that we have for youngsters, where they maybe go off the rails. And down at the bottom, trauma. We have a saying, talent by trauma. Most of the elite athletes have had a really bad experience, and they've developed that mental toughness and that resilience that's got them through that life circumstance, so then they can put sport in a different context. What we also need is, with you saying about the strength and speed and agility, we need those fundamental movement skills, but we need them not to just be able to run in a rugby line. We need them to be able to move the body in all different directions. If they keep doing the same thing again and again and again, they're going to get more injuries. So if you can have functional variability, getting them doing many, many different types of activities, it'll take stress off their body, it'll help them recover, and then they'll be even better at the rugby and the skills that they want to develop. And as it says there, also, if they can only do rugby and nothing else, then what about if they get asked to do other things? They might say, well, no, because they won't give it a go. Whereas if at a young age you can get them just trying as many different things as possible, it gives them a positive attitude, and again, in the long term, it'll help the rugby league as well. Wellerman Laverley said, look, with any young person, let's look how old they are. They've got a hell of a lot of things going on in their lives. And sometimes, we just think as coaches, the people who are watching, about the athletic level, grassroots game, community game, getting them involved at the beginning, then about developing them, getting them into an academy. Then we're looking at, can they get a contract? Are they playing professional? And then what are they going to do as vets? Are they going to continue, or are they going to be lost to the game? But we need to be looking at the other things as well. Childhood, puberty, maturation, how they grow, all about the hormones, what's going on in the mind as well as adolescence. If you link that as well with what's going on with their relationship with you as parents, with brothers, sisters, with the friendship groups, what the friends like doing, what they don't like doing, and again, you're trying to manage that. We've also then go on to how they interact with the coach as well. So there's the parent, the coach, and yourselves, but also the friends, what they're saying about it. Then, as they get older, you've got to think about boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, what sort of influence they'll have, running right the way through as when they've got young children. But look at the bottom one as well, academic vocational. The transition, primary to secondary school, can be traumatic. When they have to decide on what are the GCSEs, when they're going into year 9, going into year 10 again, can be very traumatic what's happening at school, getting moved around groups, or they set it into ability groups. When they leave secondary school and going to work or going to college. And what Wellerman says is we need as parents to manage and be aware the 6 months, the year coming up to that, and actually try and give the students that preparation and get the youngsters as athletes that preparation as well with everything that they do. Professor Collins, Dave Collins, says, let's just think about it simple, 5 rings, just like the Olympic flag. Yes, quite often we always focus on the middle one, technical, tactical skills. That's the big thing. And in a lot of programs, that's the biggest circle, the biggest ring. But we need to think about the psycho-behavioral, the emotion, the confidence, the self-esteem. What do I think about myself? Can I plan? Can I cope? Can I bounce back? Do I give up? Do I try hard? Physical conditioning, yes, very important as well, especially in our sport, but lifestyle and support. Are they sleeping enough? If we're looking at teenagers, how many get between 10 and 14 hours of sleep? That's what they need, that's what their body needs to grow, and yet we give them less and less and less. And Arnie says, sleep faster. Right? But they do need that to develop their bodies, and we need to be aware of that. Movement skills, fundamental movement skills, so they're less likely to get injured. Different movement patterns and always doing the same thing. And it's about the lifestyle and support, how happy they are. We work with a lot of elite athletes, and sometimes the coaches get said, what did you work on? Did you change this? Did you change that? What did your tactics? What did you do? I went and met him the night before and I had dinner with him. We had a nice evening. He was happy, they were happy, they had good preparation for the game, everyone was happy, they won, they played well. But sometimes that lifestyle bit, we probably don't pay enough attention to, exactly how the children are feeling.